Hello, Downriver. This is Ron Hendricks, President and CEO of the Southern Wayne County Regional Chamber, and I'm very excited to welcome you to our second episode of the Support Downriver Heroes broadcast, a very exciting brand new broadcast featuring our local entrepreneurial heroes in the Downriver region. And today we're definitely joined by one of those entrepreneurial heroes, the famous, very well known Peter Rose, the owner of Chelsea's Menswear and Tuxedos in downtown Wyandotte, the gorgeous and beautiful downtown Wyandotte. You might have seen the very first episode we did was featuring Jeremy Hansen, who's the curator and director of River's Edge Gallery. So we're staying in downtown Wyandotte today, and we're going to be talking with Peter. Peter, it's so great to have you with us today. How you doing? It looks like you're very comfortable in the shop today.
Feeling unusually casual today, Ron.
in your beautiful Chelsea suit there and tie, you look great.
So dressed accordingly, I see.
Yes, I am. I'm wearing a Chelsea sport jacket, and I love it. I have my Chelsea tie, paisley tie, a Chelsea light blue shirt, and I also, you can't see, but I have some Chelsea light gray pants on today too. And this is one of my favorite outfits. I love it. So Peter, I want to talk, we talk about Chelsea and obviously one of your main passions, I would say, I think it's fair to say in life, is supporting local small businesses. And I think now more than ever, it's absolutely critical that we really rally behind this campaign of supporting local small businesses, especially as we fight through this current pandemic and uncertain economic times that we're all facing as one community. That's why the Chamber launched the Support Downriver campaign in partnership with our friends at the Downriver Community Conference. Let's open up the broadcast with this. Can you tell us a little bit about, and again, like I said, this is your main passion, I would say, a little bit about why it's so important that we support local Downriver businesses?
Well, it's a long subject, and I'll try to be concise. But it's kind of hard to say it all in a single mouthful. Mm-hmm. Back in about 2010, I read a book called Big Box Swindle by a woman named Stacy Mitchell, who is one of the co-founders of the independent, let's see, forget it. I'll get back to that in a second. It's all about local self-reliance. Mm-hmm. And in that book, this book was really about the adverse effect of big boxes on our economy. And I thought it was interesting, but that's really not what ignited me. At the end of it, she said there are things that towns are doing to join together and to express yourselves through something as simply put as think local first. So all of a sudden I realized that that's what we had to do. I was president of the Wyandotte Business Association at the time.
Okay.
And we put out a coffee table book, and we told people all these good things about why shopping local is better. And it has just, I've stayed in the loop of every contact that I made through this thing, all the organizations that exist out there that advocate for local and independent. So the reason to get to it, to answer your question, it is as simple a thing as, for instance, I prefer to have if I pick a dentist, I would really like it if that dentist was a customer. And if that way he's supporting me and I'm supporting him. The same concept just has to extend out further, so that if you are a citizen of the region here and you like coming to a place like downtown Wyandotte or to any of the Downriver community's unique independent businesses, you can't just take no responsibility for taking care of them. It is, during this COVID, Amazon grew geometrically. Yeah. And online shopping from all of the other people, the Walmart is huge, online, Target, all of the places that they are there, they are taking the money and it is leaving the state. So I can't compete with. I'm not on the same plane as Walmart. If you're looking for a nice Tommy Bahama top, for instance, it's not there. So I'm not I'm not exactly going toe to toe, but in terms of keeping money circulating in our local economy, I certainly am on the same plane. I'm trying to be. I have a better effect. My efforts as a retailer have a better effect on keeping money circulating in our local Downriver community than if I take it to a national chain, or especially if I take it to online, because in that case, virtually every cent leaves the state. So what's better for us? What's better for all of us? If you
Right.
buy something from me and I then take that money and I buy a new snowblower from Hood's Hardware, and then he goes and he buys a new bedroom set at White Furniture, and then somebody from there goes down and shops at the new Salam Nisha. All of these things, how many times do your dollars get spent locally? The power of that is extraordinary. They say that 3.5 times more money stays circulating locally with local versus national. And when you apply it to internet, it's like 9 times as much. There is some local residual impact from shopping online with Amazon. They do have fulfillment centers here, but overwhelming amount of money stays in our local community. So yeah, I'm ferociously I ferociously advocate for local and independent, because it's not one single store, it is not one single restaurant, it is the combination of all of it. The way this local economy, capitalism with a small c, in our local community here is extraordinarily powerful. It is not the trickle down economy that I'm talking about, it's the trickle up. We create all of this prosperity, and it trickles up to fund the government through sales tax. Through sales tax, think of that. It's very, very important. So
Yeah,
it's a topic that I can go on and on and on about. So I'll let you take over again.
Well, that's what I was going to say, Peter. I think you had told me before that you have written 41 or 42 articles about this topic. So I know this is a very passionate topic, but it shouldn't just be passionate just for you, Peter. This should be something that every single one of us in a Downriver region should be able to rally behind. And that is supporting our local small businesses and our local job providers. These are the people that make it happen in the Downriver region. They're the ones that provide every single one of us with our jobs. And you hit the nail right on the head. An overwhelming majority of every single dollar that you spend at a local business stays in that local community that you live, play, and work in. I mean, it's common sense. Support our local small businesses. That's how we grow our local communities.
The other thing I wrote is that I believe, like you said, we should all be passionate like this. We should all be aware of the power of our spending. And I put it that it seems to me that we've all kind of lost the thread of what citizenship means and being a good citizen of your region, your city, your neighborhood, your region. Are you a part of that citizenship? Are you part of the solution? Or do you really and truly not really care at all? And so it doesn't matter to you. All you want is to get your product fast and right to your door. It is easy. There is no question about it. You can click a button and have that happen, and you've got what you want right to your door.
Right.
But you're not using your dollars to the best advantage of your community.
Right.
So,
I have to say that what the words that you just said right there, I'm sure have hit some people right in the hearts. And they're starting to think more about spending those dollars wisely to support their local community, their local job providers, and the people that live next door to them, their friends, their families, their neighbors who rely on our local community, not just for survival, but for maintaining our American way of life.
That's great. That's very much.
Yep. Peter, I want to ask you a question now pertaining to the current economic situation that we're in right now. And I'm just going to say this. A lot of people agree to disagree with the way certain things have been handled in the pandemic. But putting that all aside, the facts are that our local small businesses have been forced to restrict operations, and several of them, like dine-in services at restaurants, for example, movie theaters, bowling alleys, they have actually seen their operations completely shut down. Now, the impact that has on a local economy, and when you talk about right in the middle of the Christmas shopping season, and we have a significant number of people who are unemployed and not receiving a paycheck, and that has a tremendous impact on a local economy. And when I talk about maintaining our well-being and our American way of life, I mean, this is significant. So all that being said, and like I said, there's disagreement about how things can be handled, fine. But these are the facts that people are hurting. And we have to unite behind supporting our local small businesses and our job providers. So what does it mean to you as a small business owner to be able to take advantage of, these different grant opportunities? We saw yesterday, Wayne County announced that their Wayne County Cares program, they're going to be providing a $500 debit card to people who are impacted and unemployed during this time. How critical is it to you as a small business owner and a provider that our local elected officials provide these very important relief packages?
Well, it's critical, Ron. I mean, it came, the ones that our company participated in the spring was money that was allocated to them by the government, by the federal government. And it was dispersed in many different ways. And it's why I'm sitting here talking to you. And I think many people were in that boat, getting through a period where all of a sudden there's no revenue. We had to cancel everything we had on order. And these are devastating things. I protected myself from having bills that were so high that I couldn't pay. But in doing that, I damaged my vendors. I damaged the salespeople that sold that to me. I damaged the whole flow of goods from wherever it was coming from. So these are things you don't do lightly. Everything is related. The economy, everything is related. So the federal government has not seen fit to get it done. I won't get political because it's pointless. People are going to disagree with what I say, but it is needed. And here's the thing: we're dithering around now about I think it's 800,000, maybe 800 million.
Right.
I don't think it's $1 trillion. And my own personal belief, considering how many thousands of businesses are going to go out of business this year, independent businesses, you're going to see contraction in the national chains too. So all of this weakens the economy, the speed of money so much so that if you have money circulating around at this level, it gets spent. But if I don't have enough revenue here, I can't operate.
Right.
And the only thing I can do in that circumstance is to cut costs. And the only way to cut costs is if you have help. Or you just let everyone go and hope that they'll come back. It's not that hard to understand.
Right. Yeah. And you think about, the Paycheck Protection Program that we saw the first round earlier in the spring, and how that saved probably several hundreds, if not thousands of businesses. And again, these businesses are being impacted. Their restrictions in their operations are in place, and it's not their fault. So we need to start talking about providing relief packages and help to businesses to ensure that they survive and that we maintain our jobs. Peter, I want to read to you some statistics so people understand how critical it is right now, before the end of this year, that Congress works together in a bipartisan way to pass a relief package for small business employers, our workers, and their families. Listen to these statistics, okay? According to a recent Census Bureau polling, over 30% of Americans expect to lose their employment income in the next month, and nearly 8% are either not current on their rent or mortgage, or have little confidence that they can make the next month's payment. That's incredible. On December 26, 12 million Americans could lose their unemployment benefits. This month, more American small businesses have reduced employment, which is at 11.4%, than increased their employment, 4.8%. and nearly 37% of American small businesses saw a drop in revenue this month. Now, when we talk about the Paycheck Protection Program and how critical that is for the survival of small businesses, I'm talking about small businesses that are your mom and pop shops in your local community. Listen to this stat. Over 73% of American small businesses received assistance through the Paycheck Protection Program, but nearly all have exhausted their Paycheck Protection Program funding. And over 26% expect to need additional financial assistance within the next 6 months. That 26%, we're talking about the smallest employers, the most heavily impacted employers in our local communities. And if you ask me, do we need to refund and provide another round of Paycheck Protection Program funding to save our small business community? Absolutely. So that wraps up that conversation. Let's talk a little bit more about Chelsea's Menswear and Tuxedo in downtown Wyandotte. So Peter, I asked you to join us on your phone today because I was hoping that you could take us on a little tour of the store and show us some of the hottest items that you have during this season. So what do you have?
So Ron, you asked me to show you some of the things that are in this store. This company was founded by my grandfather in 1943 in a building that is now in the area on First Street right behind Willow Tree. This store opened here in 1960. My father came to work here in 62. I started working here in 72. We've adjusted our store to be very much different than being all suits and sport coats. At one time, this row here that you're looking at here, that goes off in the distance, was twice as big. You're asking me now to talk about some of the cool things that we have as gifts. So let me start here. I happen to be at this beautiful showcase here. I think this came from a Crowley store, believe it or not. What an amazing piece. But look at this thing that's spinning in there. Do I have a good shot of that? No, I can't see it spinning.
Yeah, I can actually see it. That's really cool. It looks like the globe.
Yeah, that's called a mobile globe. This is a larger one here. It operates by sorcery. No, I mean solar power. Sorcery is out of style now. I'll take you back to the area that is generating the most interest right now.
I'm curious, Peter. Those globes are really cool, and I noticed those when I come into the store. Do you sell a lot of those?
We did. We haven't been as much. I don't know why, but yeah, they've been great. That large one that I showed you was a $500 item. The small one is a $160 item. But they're magic. If you have one of those on your desk, it's expensive, but once you have it, you're just so happy that you do. It's very cool. So you get back into this area here. Chelsea is very dependent on the creativity and energy of specific brands. Many people would be familiar with this brand, Bugatti Uomo. They make great shirts. We've got a lot of them. This is all in by size here. You can see what we're talking about here. We've got pants on sale here. This brand here on this wall is called Faraday, which is very much like the spirit of an up north cabin. All the fabrics are so incredibly soft. This one here is reversible, which makes me happy because it makes committing crimes easier, which is always the first thing I think about. This and this are the same shirt. So I could just commit the crime wearing the blue shirt and then switch it quick to the plaid and nobody would suspect me. So
we'll have to make sure to edit that part out.
Okay, this over here is Peter Millar, which is another brand that has pretty strong recognition. And all of this stuff in here is Peter Millar. We've got fantastic Maui Jim sunglasses, one of the best sunglasses on the market. All kinds of them. Just a huge assortment of these sunglasses. I don't know that many people understand that we are a Maui Jim store. This just came in today. This is a goat suede coat. CPO. It's like a little bit of a Western influence.
Yeah, that looks great.
It's spectacular. We only got 2 of them,
Hmm.
but we can get more. This is one of the coolest things we've ever offered here. This is a company called Secret. It's from Holland. This wallet is a 1.5 years old. I can't see any signs of wear on it. It's an RFID protected item, and this little lever here flicks open. Where is it? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There we go. This little thing flicks open the credit cards. So let me do that again. One little flick.
Peter, is that your personal credit card? Can you hold it up to the camera for me for a minute, please?
Yeah, I'll give you the back of it too. So I really like that. It's something that enables you to get your credit cards out easy without having to go digging for them. This thing has been in my wallet for a 1.5 years, in my pocket for a 1.5 years. It's easy to wear. It's a great gift that doesn't seem to wear out. This line here is called Retro 1951. These pens, this company is going away. They're going to be shutting down soon. And I'm very unhappy about it because they make some of the coolest things in my store and nobody else is doing it. So I'm going to lose that element of, uniqueness. But some of these pens here, what a great gift. King of Spades, Queen of Spades. These are airplane things. Einstein. So those things there have been great. We sell a fantastic line of jeans called 34 Heritage. We sell a ton of them. Once guys buy these, that's all they want to wear. By the way, look at this. These coats here are made to measure for you in Brooklyn, New York, and shipped to the store within 10 days.
Wow.
They are measured. We measure you, and you get, if you felt this, you'd be kind of astounded. It's a genuine shearling coat. So that's really awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep. Saks underwear.
Quite a bit of, this is so great about Chelsea's, Peter, is that, you think of menswear and tuxedos, but there's so much more at Chelsea's. You have the casual wear, the jeans, the shoes. I think you even mentioned underwear and socks and everything that you can imagine. You even have spinning globes.
We have a lot, and that's exactly right. We have a lot of product, everything that guys need to get dressed.
Right.
So that's us.
That's great, Peter. Thank you so much for taking us on a little tour. Greatly appreciate it. Chelsea's highly recommended. Beautiful, beautiful store. It's been there for how long now, Peter? I believe 51 years?
No, 70.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah, 1943. So that's 78 years. Is that 77 years?
77 years. That's right. Last year was or 2 years ago rather, was your 75th anniversary. So absolutely beautiful store, Peter. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I want to say thank you everyone for joining us. This was, of course, a lot of fun hanging out this afternoon with my friend Peter Rose, the owner of Chelsea's Menswear and Tuxedo. I see Peter's actually showing us a beautiful shot of the front of the store right there in downtown Wyandotte. So Peter, thanks again for joining us. Thank you everyone for joining us. We hope you have a beautiful day and looking forward to seeing you on our next episode of Support Downriver Heroes. Have a great one.